Welcome back. We're discussing women in business, the challenges and opportunities. What does it mean to be a woman in business in Kenya? So ladies, like you said, you're a businesswoman, you are a mother, a wife, a friend, a sister, a daughter at the end of the day, because you still have your parents to take care of. Can women have it all, Evelyn?
Yes, if you prioritize. Yes.
We can do it all.
Yeah, we have been named people who can multitask, so why not? Yeah, we can multitask, and we can still do it within the stipulated 24 hours a day.
But I feel like there's a but coming.
There's no but. Well, not really a but a disclaimer that you need to prioritize. Just, make time for the most important things in your life. Yeah. Just don't go with the flow. Yeah.
I like what Rose had said. Yeah. If she's invited to a dinner and she can make it, she will say no.
Yes.
All right.
So sometimes you really need to sleep, right?
Sometimes you really need to take some time off. But yes, women can have it all. Women can have it all. And I'll give you an interesting directive, like the prayer of Jabez. Enlarge my tent. Most people think enlarge my tent means give me more money, give me more. But you just need enlargement in your soul and in your spirit to be able to handle everything that comes up. Like you said, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I have my mother to take care of. Sometimes she was unwell, so she's in my house. I need to work out so that you can be fit.
Take care of yourself.
Yes.
You're a wife.
I'm a wife.
You're a businesswoman.
And then it's the end of the month. It's time to pay salaries and pay bills and do all these things. So my prayer is enlarge my tent. As in, just increase my capacity to be able to take in everything that needs to be taken in. Yes. So women can have it all.
We can have it all, but we need to prioritize.
Yeah. We need to prioritize and we need to avoid distractions. Distractions are key.
I like that. So why is it important for women in business, or just even men? Why is it so important for us to take care of ourselves? Because I like the way you've used the analogy of the prayer, and very many people say you cannot pour into a cup if you are empty yourself.
Yeah. Yes.
Why is it unique? Why is it important for you to take care of yourself as well? Sometimes do not pick a call, do not reply an email.
Yes.
And take care of yourself.
Yes.
Rose, why is that important?
Put your bundles off, avoid WhatsApp, avoid social media. It's okay to go off social media for a while. It feeds you a lot of things that you don't need in your life.
And it has an impact on how you do business.
And it has an impact on how you do business. It has an impact on how you think. So you don't even have time to meditate. You don't have time to really focus on the things that really count. So it's okay to just block everything out and just focus on what really matters and avoid distractions. There are very, very many distractions, Technology works for us, but can be a distraction because you find everyone on their phones all the time. And when you check what they're doing, you're like, yeah. And then whatever they read in the morning takes up their whole day. They're discussing it with their friends, in their meetings. So you're like, then what time do you have to do what really counts? So it's okay to look at what's happening, but it's also a fine line to find balance to actually just do what matters. And also to meditate. You must come from a point where you have enough to be able to pour out. Because in business, people buy people fast. True? If someone likes you, they've almost bought whatever it is you're bringing to the table. Yeah, so you have to be able to pour out who you are and what you carry so that the other person also is able to receive it.
Right. Evelyn, would you want to add on that?
I think for me, it is just the fine line between what you give and how to balance burnout, because when you're not taking care of yourself, you will burn out and people will. It will show. It will show in your face. It will show in your speech. It will show in your work.
And in everything that you do. How is it important for you ladies to have the confidence, the support of your spouse, Evelyn?
Well, for me, in fact, I really thank my husband because he's one of the people who ensures if I need to do a presentation, I present to him first, so he will tell me, and he'll ask me very, strict questions like, so when someone asks you, what is your leverage? And I'm like, can you please speak English? I keep having these conversations with him. But it is important to have, especially a spouse who supports you. One, because when I'm a mother and I need to be in a meeting at 6:30, then my husband will take the children to school. It's the little things. When I'm unable to do one or two things, I can call him and ask him, can you just grab us some packets of milk and some bread? Right. That is support. And someone who, when you're really, really low and there's no one else to talk to, they will listen to you and they will just, even though they don't have a solution, they just need you to just empty yourself. And then they'll ask you, okay, so now what have you decided you're going to do? And you have got no idea what you're going to do. But you know, when that person is just there and they will allow you to sleep and they'll take care of the children, because that is a very important thing. As parents, and especially for us women, we want to be everywhere at the same time. And when you're called for a meeting one time and then your child is sick, then you're like, this meeting, but this is not really important. But it is. But again, I'm thinking, I really need to take my child to hospital because this is my child. So where you find that synergy where your spouses and your family members, in fact, I really even thank my nanny because she's always there. You know, she will not make me stressed about things that I cannot have control over. So having a support system is something very important.
Rose.
Yeah.
My situation is a bit unique because I work with my spouse. He's technical director at Rockmix International. So now we live together and we work together. The most amazing thing about that is I have 100% support because we are both working towards a common goal, you know? So the Bible says one can slay two, but two can slay 10,000, which means when you're two, then you can do so much more as opposed to when you're on your own. But also, for those who don't have spouses and they're wondering, okay, so I don't have a spouse, then you have to create a support system around you. You have to create family, your nanny, people that you can count on to offer you support. You also need consultation, like consultants are in your team who are able to tell you, no, this is not the way to go, this is the way to go, this is the way to go, this is the way to go, because they really do keep you focused. So it's important to have your spouse say support, because I think it would be really hard if you don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Ladies, Winston Churchill says, success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. What would you say is your favorite? And I am very categorical when I say favorite. What is your favorite failure? The one that you did and actually boosted you to success. That you feel like if you were to do this all over again, I would actually do this failure. Because very many people do not understand that failure is an important proponent to propelling you to success. We just think you wake up and you're a successful businesswoman. Evelyn.
Wow, I think I want to listen to hers.
All right, let Rose take the lead in this one.
Okay. My favorite successful failure is when I was auctioned. So I say in business, auctioning is a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage. And you know, my auctioneer said something very interesting. That huwezi chota mdosi, you know? Huwezi chota mtu maskini. Ukichotwa, it means you're doing well. So when I was auctioned, it really did something for me. It was such a low point in my business because I had tried to grow too fast without strategy. So I took too much to my plate and I couldn't handle. And when that happened, I was auctioned. And on that day, I just sat down and thought, is this the end? But amazingly, it was an amazing beginning.
Wow.
So it was interesting to just work your way up again. Yeah.
And start afresh.
And start afresh. And now be very careful when you're bringing something on. So someone tells you it's a good idea, it's only going to cost you so much monthly. Dollar signs go, you're like, no, I can't do it. So it makes you really smart. Because then you get off a bubble and you kind of come to real life and realize, these so-called successful people, it didn't happen overnight. So sometimes, and it's important to be able to not let go of the bigger picture when you're in that situation. Because on that particular day, if you told me that today I'll talk about it, I wouldn't believe you. Because on that day, it really seems like, you know.
It was a low day for you.
It was a really low, it's not even a low day, it's a low season. It's not really a day because it's from when you realize you don't have money and the demand letter comes and another one comes and then finally you receive the auctioneer's notice. And then the auctioneer's notice comes in, you have to really breathe in, wonder, what do I do? Do I let go of this property that I've been holding on? What happens now? Yes, at that time you've talked to everyone, you've talked to your mother, you've talked to your friends, you've talked to everyone, but they can't quite bail you out of the process. Yeah. So it's not really a one day, it's a process that you go through. But when you come out, I say it's a rite of passage. So my friends who are going into business, they say, oh, Rosemary, I have this idea, I want to do this, I want to do this. I smile, I say, you have a lot to learn, my love.
And we'll come to the advice that you have for people and women who are looking into going into business. Evelyn, for you?
For me, I think my favorite challenge, and I love the way you've put it, I think for me is the fact that I mentored people in my team and then they went for my clients. And the reason why they did that is because we didn't have proper, the structures that you would really ideally have for your workers. The fact that they should not compete. I did not have non-competes. I had no HR system per se. It was just like, you're my friend, you can do this, let's do this. You understand? It's so casual, so kienyeji. So once and twice, yeah, so one of my workers actually did take like 2 of my clients, and that was wow. I really need contracts, I need non-disclosures. And that is, in fact, like for the rest of the year, that time, I spent my time just putting up structures and systems. Yeah.
Speaking of structures and systems, and it's something that I have noticed from both of your stories, because you grew the business so fast without strategy, and you felt like you also needed human rights resource strategies, non-disclosure forms. What do we do wrong in business as women?
The lack of structures. When you decide you're going to do your business briefcase, and I call it briefcase because you're not professionalizing your system. Your business is just one of those. Nika biashara. When you meet someone and then, what do you do? I do this car business. When you just put car, that's it. I mean, when I'm listening to you, I'm just thinking you're this person, So when we don't have those structures in place, I mean, that is just the first form of failure, yeah.
Structures and systems are very, very important, but also putting them together is a very huge challenge because it's letting go of the control you've always had. As women, we like to have things in place. Like you brought up the kitchen story. The kitchen is my domain. Here, I rule, So in business, you kind of come with that kind of mental setup, but then now you reach a place you realize it's not my kingdom, it's not my place to rule. It's time for me to step back. And the most important thing is to be able to put up structures and systems for the business to be able to operate separate of you. Because as also a woman in business, you have very many ideas that you'd like to do, but you realize I can't do them because I'm chasing this, I'm paying salaries, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. So time to put up structures and systems in place. And people say systems and it looks easy, but then you have to realize it's a whole other world. Like now I'm in paint, I'm in production, but then you realize there's HR, like she's talking about, which is a challenge for very many businesses. There's ICT, ICT, someone told me you need an ICT policy. I said, a what? You need ICT, you need financial manuals, you need, all these other things that are not really your core business, but are important to be able, for the business now for you to be able to step back and to let the business grow. What I can say that helps in terms of putting structures in place is to get help. This is where consultants come in. That you are able to get a consultant who now watches your business from an outside, like an aerial view, and says, this is what you need to get done, and walks you through the process. I think it really helps because it also keeps you in check.
Let me just add the fact that when you meet business women, they will tell you, I am the founder and I'm the CEO. You cannot be the founder of your business and the CEO, because most of the time, by the way, when you're the CEO of the business, you might be your own failure. So you need someone who will also keep you in check. Because, when you're not being checked by someone, even just say, and I know when I talk about having an advisory board, people keep thinking, I'm not a multi-million business. Just having a group of, like-minded people who are looking at you and putting you into check, that is something very important because you do not know it all, by the way. You need someone who will help you with your team. Yeah.
Has the government done enough for women in Kenya and making the environment conducive?
Yes, it has. It has. We have the youth fund that is really helping youth and women in business. And
what I can say in manufacturing, they've lowered the cost of power at night. Like they've recently, Uhuru's government has lowered the cost of power down by 50% if you work at night. So now that means for us in manufacturing, it means now working 24 hours is the only thing that makes sense. You have to be able, because you have the same resources, but you have a 24-hour day. So now when you work at night, that means your electrical costs are lower. And this is very, very significant to the balance sheet.
Yes. Getting loans is more easier for women. It's accessibility.
Yeah. We also have the access to the procurement opportunities that is there, and the Women Enterprise Fund. That is something that we actually need to take more advantage of because not very many people are tapping into it. Yeah.
Rosemary, your last advice to women who are watching?
To women who are watching, it's your journey. It's really a journey. It's a day by day week by week, month by month journey, but you don't lose focus of the bigger goal. Start small. God asked Moses, what is in your hand? And he had a stick. So what is in your hand today? Whatever is in your hand, use it and start with it. That would be my advice.
All right. And Evelyn, for you?
Well, for me, I would say that we need to change the narrative from, expanding our thoughts to the fact that we can trade locally and internationally. Get yourself into a group where you will be exposed to international markets. I belong to a group called OIT, and OIT is all about enhancing women to tap into international markets. And the opportunities are very, very many. It's just that we are concentrating into small spaces. So get out there, show up, and, go for what you want.
All right. Rosemary and Evelyn, thank you so much for making time and allowing Kenyans to tell and see a perspective of what it means to be a woman in business in Kenya. Thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you for
Thank you for having us.
Now,